Joshua versus Usyk fight week is officially underway. And while Joshua's attention is on the former undisputed cruiserweight champion Alexander Usyk, AJ versus Fury is still a heavily discussed topic. But Fury is in a mega fight of his own against Deontay Wilder on October 9th. Both Brits must come out on top to keep the hopes of that showdown alive. When asked about Fury, Joshua responded with the following to the Daily Mail. I'll promise before the end of my career, I have done everything in my power to fight Tyson Fury. Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao, that was a superstar fight. Me and Fury is streets. We'll get it on in Britain. This is a UK fight. Well, first of all, Ak, this is kind of different than what Tyson Fury said. Tyson Fury said that fight is going to be, in the Middle East where they're offering a whole bunch of money. What was that? Saudi Arabia, actually. That's where it was supposed to be. So him saying Britain, now, yes, that makes sense to me, but I don't know if Saudi Arabia is offering more money than you can get in the UK. Who knows? But we'll see. But as far as this right here, who do you think is more likely to, mess up these plans? Is it Usyk or is it Deontay Wilder?
Barack, that's a great question. First off, to address the first thing that you said, money talks. That fight is going wherever the most money is, point blank, period. No disrespect to the Brits. The ones with money will, and if they're able to travel, they'll get to Saudi Arabia.
But doesn't that seem disrespectful, though? Like,
no,
you
it's
have
not
an opportunity to have an undisputed champion and they're both British, and you can have it on your soil.
Yeah, that sounds good. It would be great to be at Wembley. But if you're going to get an extra $50 million on top of in the pot, right, you're going to end up in Saudi Arabia. But that's neither here nor there, because both of those guys have two major tests in front of them. And actually, that's a very difficult question, Barack, because I lean towards Fury. Deontay Wilder being able to upset the apple cart. And then sometimes I lean towards Usyk being able to accept the apple cart. Because both of these guys have a legitimate shot at winning these fights. When you look at Wilder, you talk about one of the hardest hitting heavyweights in history, right? That's not said because people just like to say it, because the guy has one punch knockout power and he's already hurt Fury. We saw it one time. Now, you flip over to the other fight over here in the UK, you talk about Olympic gold medalists. Yes, AJ was an Olympic gold medalist as well. But Usyk is a very slick, skilled, decorated amateur. He did not start fighting as late as AJ did. He's a southpaw. He has so many tricks in his bag. And yes, he starts slow, but he ends strong. So for those that think that AJ is just going to walk through Usyk, they got another thing coming. So I can't answer that question. I am picking AJ to beat Usyk, and I'll make the prediction later on in the week. And I'm actually going towards Wilder upsetting the apple cart. I haven't made that decision just yet. Maybe by fight week in Vegas, I'll change my mind. But the question is, if Wilder wins, can we make AJ and Wilder? And we may talk to Wilder later on in the week, and I'm going to ask him myself.
You said we may talk to Wilder?
Sorry, Joshua.
Wilder ain't coming on the zone, and that's my boy. Listen, who does this though? Who says, yeah, I think Usyk is gonna lose. I think Joshua's gonna beat Usyk, but I'm not making my prediction now. I'm gonna make it later. Who does that but you? I don't know. Now, here's what I say. I say it would have to be Wilder has the bigger chance of messing up those plans, because I feel like, fighters do different things in preparation according to the level of threat, right? A lot of fighters say, I treat every fight the same, and I train 100% every single fight. I take every fight seriously. Now, some fighters, that might even be true. But in reality, the reality is the bigger the fight, the more you're going to do in preparation. I think that a smart fighter should always prepare 100% physically, but I think there's certain fights that you need more mental preparation for. Example of that is Fury. I don't think he needed Freddie Roach in his corner or Sugar Hill when he fought Tom Schwartz. Another example is Caleb Plant. I'm sure he didn't go look for Andre Ward for some advice before he fought Mike Lee. And I'm saying this to say that people's prediction about Usyk losing to Joshua is based off him fighting Chisora and having a pretty much tough fight with Chisora. Now, that's a great prediction and it makes sense. But what I think is that because of the level of threat in Joshua, we're going to see a better Usyk. We're going to at least see an Usyk who prepared better. You know, so I can't put 100% of my prediction based on that, even though, yes, that's good to say. He struggled with Chisora. How can he beat Joshua? But always when there's a bigger level of threat, fighters prepare differently.
Thanks for watching this video. Please do subscribe All Media New York.